Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavna. In this lecture, we are going to continue with the topic that is called as ecology. So already we have started with the ecosystems. So in the ecosystem, what we are going to see today. So we already have discussed with the four components of ecosystem. That is the productivity. Second is decomposition. The third one is energy flow. And the fourth is like nutrient cycling. I want you all to remember what are the four components in an order because this is like a sequence you should remember. So first already we have done with productivity. We have done about primary productivity, gross primary productivity, about the plants and numerous different things we have done. Already I have discussed in the last class and then we have started with decomposition. So again in neat point of view, decomposition, there are usually five steps: fragmentation, leaching, catabolism. Then the fourth is like mineralization and humidification. And I told you how to remember easily. Like for fragmentation, decomposition means only the organic matter is broken down into inorganic molecules. So what are usually the organic molecules which are present? They're nothing but like carbon dioxide and solutes which are present. They're broken down into simple molecules. And the waste products which are formed, they are called as detritus. Like the decayed leaves and decayed flowers which you see, all we consider it under detritus. So the organisms which act, which play an important role in the process of decomposition is we call as detrivores. So in these five steps basically to easily remember, first in the fragmentation process, the detritus is broken down into smaller particles. By the name only you can understand fragmentation means breaking down into smaller particles. Then the second process is leaching. Leaching means what? They are getting precipitated as unavailable salts, like the inorganic molecules which are formed by the process of decomposition. They will go down into the soil and they will get precipitated as unavailable salts, like salts form, they get precipitated. So the point that you should remember is like precipitation. If you see the word like precipitated, then it comes under leaching, because they'll ask you like these salts are getting precipitated as unavailable things means what is the process, they'll ask you like catabolism or it is fragmentation or leaching. So the answer is leaching. Like that you should remember. And then the third point is catabolism, and here the bacterial and fungal enzymes will act. Wherever you see the word like bacterial and fungal enzymes, it is coming under catabolism. So these bacterial and fungal enzymes will act there, and they will degrade more, like they'll degrade into more smaller particles, and they play an important role in the process of decomposition. Then the fourth step is humidification, which I have described. So humidification means a dark colored humus is formed, a dark amorphous substance. That is the, see, I told you detritus is a dead and decayed organic matter. Like that, humus is also present. So that is also the waste product which is formed, and it is darker in color and it is an amorphous substance. On this humus also basically the all the microorganisms will come and act. All the fungal enzymes and bacterial enzymes will act here. So that is about the fourth step of humidification. Then when we come to fifth step, that is called as mineralization. Here numerous minerals which are present in the soil will act. On which part they will act is in the fourth step humus is formed, right? So in the fifth step, mineralization process, this humus, on this humans, the minerals will act and again they'll degrade into smaller particles. So these are the five steps which are important in a neat point of view regarding decomposition. And next, when we see what are the factors which play an important role in decomposition, the warm and moist environment will play an important role. Means the decomposition will take place only under aerobic conditions. Under anaerobic conditions, it cannot take place because decomposition is a oxygen requiring process. So under warm and moist environment only this decomposition can take place. Then later we have seen what are the substances which favor decomposition or which faster or slower the process of decomposition. The steps which favor the process of decomposition are nitrogen as well as sugars, and which degrade the process of decomposition is lignin and chitin. I want you to remember all this because in NEET several times it was asked. So this is about the process of decomposition. Then the third step is energy flow, energy transfer. Normally, PAR means what? Photosynthetically active radiation. How much it will reach the Earth's surface? Here the numericals will play an important role. That is less than 50% will reach the Earth's surface. How much do plants capture? How much is reaching the Earth's surface is different, and how much the plants capture is different. Like how much is reaching the Earth's surface is about less than 50%. How much the plants capture is almost like 2 to 10% the plants will capture. So this is about the energy transfer, and we have seen various trophic levels like the first trophic level, second, third, and fourth. And in the first trophic level only, initially we see producers. Producers means what? Like green plants, all will come under producers. Then next, there are animals like herbivores. They are primary level of consumers, herbivores. Then man and all will come under secondary and tertiary consumers. So basically, we have seen different trophic levels and how they play an important role. And what is their role here? First, the plants are usually consumed by herbivores. Herbivores are usually consumed by the man, the secondary level of consumers. The secondary level are in turn consumed by the tertiary consumers. So this is like a chain. So this chain is usually called as food web. And then what is like standing crop? I have told you like standing crop is the amount of energy that is transferred from one trophic level to the another is called as standing crop. So here in standing crop, numerous another examples also will be given like standing state and all. But here standing crop is important. Like the amount of energy or the amount of biomass that is transferred from one trophic level to other trophic level is standing crop. So this is about that. Then next we have seen about and how is the standing crop measured is it may be measured in terms of dry weight or organic matter. How it is measured is important. So that is done. Then next we have started with what are the pyramids which are present. What are they referring to as ecological pyramids? So ecological pyramids means first I'll tell you. When we start with ecological pyramids, how are usually pyramids present? How do the pyramids appear? They appear in a triangle shape. So basically near the base, it is broad near the base. And when it is coming up near the apex, it is usually narrow. It is usually becoming narrow near the apex. So why do we usually measure the ecological pyramids? We measure the ecological pyramids because we should know like how is the energy transferred or which organisms are more in one community. Suppose if you take a forest, there more plants will be there and then very minimal of animals. So plants are more because plants are primary producers and plants will be more. So when plants are more and when they belong to the first trophic level, obviously they will be more in number. So when we are measuring, like, see, suppose this is primary producers. These are producers. Then the second level is, I told you, they are primary consumers. Then another level is secondary consumers. The tertiary consumers. Producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. So this is following like a pyramid. It is broad near the base and it is getting narrower at the apex. So this is the pyramid, ecological pyramid, which we describe in a community. Suppose there are again three types of pyramids which are present. They are pyramids of numbers, pyramid of energy, and pyramid of biomass. In these three different types, these will vary. I'll draw you clearly, I'll depict in a diagram how this pyramids will vary in sequence. So now you understood how will the ecological pyramid appear. So basically, if you start with pyramid of number, the second one is pyramid of biomass. The third is pyramid of energy. And again, in these three different types, it will vary. See, suppose this is the primary producer. These are producers. Obviously, these will be more in number. See, suppose if you take plants, are plants more in number? In our environment, mostly they will be plants only. Again, animals, they'll get very smaller. See, suppose next is like primary consumers. These are secondary consumers. These are tertiary consumers. Suppose if you take an example, for producers it is obviously the plants. For the primary consumers, it is like herbivores. Herbivores will be very minimal in number. Again, like goat or cow, you take numerous examples, these will be very few in number. Then secondary consumers means these goats will eat the plants. In turn, goats also will be eaten by some organisms. The goats are usually eaten by the mainly like insects, birds and all. These will come under secondary consumers. Again, in the tertiary consumers, what the insects and birds also, the man, lion and tiger, these all will consume. So these will come under tertiary consumers. So I want you to clearly remember the examples regarding this. Suppose this is plants, goat, insects, man, producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. These will vary and they will decrease in number. So we will say the pyramids of numbers is always like a triangle. So it is appearing a triangle. It is not usually inverted. And the numbers will decrease when you go from first trophic level to the last trophic level. It will decrease basically. So always the pyramid of numbers is usually straight and it appears as a triangle. Then when you come to pyramid of biomass, again in pyramid of biomass also the same thing repeats. For producers, it is obviously producers are more in number, producers. Then next, primary consumers are little less. Next, secondary consumers, then tertiary consumers. Again same, from the base of the triangle is very broad and it will narrow till the apex. So same, it is like a sequence, it is like a triangle, and the same thing repeats here. This is pyramid of biomass in the terrestrial ecosystem. I'll describe in aquatic ecosystem, it will vary. So biomass means what? The amount, that is the amount of matter which is produced by the amount of organic matter which is produced, and how many species are present. This all will usually vary. So that's why from the first trophic level again they will start decreasing. So this point you should remember. Next, pyramids of energy. I already have told you in the last class about the 10% law. So what is 10% law? 10% law means it will vary, like about 10% of energy is transferred from one trophic level to another. Suppose in producers like plants, they prepare so much amount of food. Then primary consumers, some less. Then like that the energy will vary, and only about 10% of energy is transferred from one place to another. So, like one trophic level to another, only some amount of energy is usually transferred. So, when only some amount of energy is transferred from energy will vary, right? So, again, the energy will decrease because only 10% is transferring from plants to the last trophic level. Only some amount of energy is transferred, so it will vary. So, that important point you should remember. And again, the pyramid of energy is always like a triangle and always it is straight. It is not usually inverted. So again we will depict like in a diagram: producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary. So the pyramid of numbers, pyramid of biomass, pyramids of energy, everything will is like a straight one. That is, they are broad at the apex and they are getting narrow, like they are broad at the base and they are getting narrow at the apex. So again it is of four different types. So pyramid of numbers, biomass, energy. These all will come under the ecological pyramids which are present. And then the important point that you should remember is it will vary. Suppose these are plants, goat, insects, birds, man, produces primary, secondary, tertiary. Again, it will vary. So this is like varying from base to the apex. Every time, remember, if they ask in any NEET question, first they won't ask like this direct bits. Like they will ask like goats are more in number than the plants. So under what like pyramids of numbers, how is the triangle classified? So you should draw this diagram. Suppose in some cases, like the goats will be more in number than the plants, then again you should draw an inverted pyramid. But usually for the pyramid of biomass, number, and energy, always it is straight, because it is like so many scientists have proven that it will be similar structures, like they will be like a same triangle. It will vary from one trophic level to other, so it will always be same. So here no need to get so much confused regarding this. When we have started with 10% law, I told that about 10% of energy is transferred, and we have discussed about primary producers, that all first trophic level. And remember, always this is the first trophic level, this is the second, third, and fourth. I want you to remember like this. Some may think that the first trophic level is tertiary consumers. No, the first trophic level is producers, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that it will vary. And here you should remember like pyramid of numbers, biomass, and energy. Again, there is one exception that you should remember. Suppose in pyramid of biomass, that is here the pyramid of biomass in the aquatic ecosystem. These all I have described in terrestrial ecosystem, that is on the land. I want you to remember that in aquatic ecosystem, the pyramid of biomass is usually inverted. Like why it is inverted, I'll tell you. See, number means normal numbers. Biomass means what? It is like the weight of the organisms, or the how many organisms are present in that pond, and how many are like you see biomass means how to describe is like how much amount is produced by them, how much of amount of organic matter are they producing. Like that you will vary. Normally in terrestrial ecosystem it varies like this, and in aquatic ecosystem I will tell you. So this you remember for all the three, it is the same thing that you should remember. And then when we take the pyramid of biomass, when you take the pyramid of biomass, so in the like you see lake or pond, that is in the aquatic ecosystem. When you take here, what is this aquatic ecosystem? What I have told you, the first plants are also called as phytoplanktons. The animals are called as zooplanktons. Plants are phytoplanktons, animals are zooplanktons, I told you. So the phytoplanktons usually, that is the plants, they are usually very minimal in number. That is their amount of the biomass is very much less for them. So here it is inverted usually. Here the pyramid is usually inverted. For rest of them, the pyramids are straight and it will be like pointing towards the apex. The base is broad and it is pointed towards the apex. But here for the pyramid of biomass in the lake or pond, that is an aquatic ecosystem, here usually it is inverted. So here the zooplanktons are more in number than that of phytoplanktons. The zooplanktons are more in number. So this point you should remember. They will ask you in NEET which type of pyramid is inverted. Pyramid of energy, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of you see numbers, which one is inverted? Pyramid of biomass is inverted, but it is inverted only in aquatic ecosystem. Are you all clearly understanding? I hope you all are understanding, because see, for everything these producers will be more in number. But here for the pyramid of biomass in the pond, it is usually varying. That is, this will be more in number, these will be very less in number. So like that you should remember. The zooplanktons here are very much more in number. That is, their amount of biomass is more. So that's why the pyramid of biomass is usually inverted only in terms of aquatic ecosystem. So that you should remember. The another point which you should remember is, in the ecological pyramids, the another point that you should remember is, what are the disadvantages which are associated? Disadvantages. Disadvantages of ecological pyramids are, see, suppose if you are classifying man or some, you see man, they will come under secondary as well as tertiary, both they'll come. So they, for two trophic levels they are included, but when we see in normal point of view, it should not be included in both. So this is the disadvantage here which it comes, that is the same organisms are usually coming under two trophic levels. This is the major disadvantage which is associated with that of ecologic pyramids. They'll ask you in what are the disadvantages of ecological pyramids. That is, the same organisms are included under the both trophic levels. So there is no clear differentiation how it is taking place and how the pyramid of biomass and all will vary, because when one organism is included in both, they are not understanding whether to include it in second trophic level or third trophic level, like that they are not understanding. So this is the major disadvantage which comes with ecological pyramids. So this is about the ecological pyramids, and we have completed with the energy transfer, how is the energy transferred from one place to another, and rest all we have understood. Then the another point we will start, that is nothing but ecological succession. This all will come under the energy transfer only. So ecological succession. Ecological succession. In ecological succession, what is the definition of this? That is, if the species composition will vary from one area to another, it is called as ecological succession. Means the species may vary, right? Everywhere numerous species won't be present. So they'll vary from one place to another. When the species composition is varying from one place to another, it is called as ecological succession. Species composition will vary from one place to another. Finally, numerous changes in the environment will take place because of this ecological succession. What are the usually the changes which are taking place for ecological succession is, finally they will arrive at a conclusion that is called as climax community. Climax community means the last species are differing from one place to another. Finally they'll come to one place and they will settle there. Suppose example, we are migrating from one area to another, finally we will settle at one place. So where we are settling, that is where we are being at one place, that is called as climax community. The last stage where the species leave, it is called as climax community. What is the exact definition of the ecological succession is, the species composition will vary from one place to another. The composition of the species is varying. That is the definition. Then what is the another important term, that is called as survey. In this survey also, the communities will vary from one place to another. There are numerous communities which are present and it will vary from one place to another. So this varying of communities from one place to another is called as survey. Varying of communities. So the exact definition of ecological succession is, the species composition will vary from one place to another is ecological succession. First thing that you should remember. Then what is climax communities? The final stage where species are settling down is called as climax community. Then the another important one, the sequence of communities which vary from one place to another sequence of communities is called as serre. Standing crop is amount of organic matter that is changing from one trophic level to other trophic level. These all definitions I want you to remember clearly regarding this. And in ecological succession, and again, we will have different types. What is primary ecological succession? What is secondary? How it is varying from that area to another? This all is we will discuss in the next class, like how all this is taking place. So first I want in today's class to remember the pyramids of energy, biomass and numbers, everything it is same. Pyramid of biomass in the aquatic ecosystem is inverted. Next we came to ecological succession. We saw what are the disadvantages, and in the ecological succession the definition, what is climax community and what is serre. So everything we have seen. In the next class we will deal with what are the primary succession and secondary successions. Okay.